My name is Tushar Deepak Pawar. I am All India rank 861 in last year CSE 2022, and I have been allocated to Indian Railway Management Service, which is a merger of 8 earlier services earlier, and currently a one service. So today I will be uh, guiding aspirants uh, through the session arranged by UPSC Time India platform on YouTube. So welcome to all. Let us start with the session. So first thing, I will be discussing this my UPSC strategy to fellow aspirants in eight uh, different eight different parts. I will briefly outline my session. First one will be a brief intro of myself. Then I will be targeting on prelims, then mains, then interview, and then my service, what it is all about in Indian Railway Management Service. And then after I will be talking about my learnings, experiences, and some miscellaneous aspects of the UPSC service preparation. So let us go one by one. I hope you all will get some insights from my UPSC journey as well as strategy that I will be sharing. So first thing about myself, I come from Sindhudurga district of Maharashtra, a place named as Kankavli, where I brought up. I studied there till 12th standard. I did my 12th standard in science stream, and then onwards I went to Ferguson College in Pune in 2016 for to pursue my bachelor's degree in physics. From 2016 to 2019, I did my graduation. I passed out in 2019, and from 2020 till 2023, I am giving attempts. I got selected in my third attempt. That was in CSE 2022. Last year, I allocated to Indian Railway Management Service. Uh, I That is a brief introduction of myself. Then about UPSC journey, I started preparing way back in 2016 when I was in first year of my graduation. It was a slow and steady start, I would say, because uh, much of my much of my time would go into college activities and the uh, any work that was related to college studying and all. And in weekend, I joined at that time. I joined one coaching named as Unique Academy, and I used to go on weekends for the to attend the lectures. It helped me to maintain my momentum and to gain some understanding about how actually the exam process is, what kind of books one has to refer, and uh, keep to keep going through the process and understanding some of the aspects of exam. So till from 2016 to 2019, I was somehow uh, connected to UPSC preparation through classes or attending some of the seminars that were there in Pune. Uh, from after my graduation, that is from June 2020, 2019, I started full-time preparation for UPSC CSE. I joined 1 year batch of the same academy, though I went there for 6 months because COVID in 2020 there was COVID. So during COVID I went to my home and prepared from my home for 1.5 years. I gave two attempts in 2020 and 2021 from my home itself, and then after my second prelims for mains preparation, I came to Pune again, back to Pune, and gave my second mains, and then onwards third mains from Mumbai, preparing for from Pune. So this was my uh, short journey regarding UPSC. uh, During third mains, I went to Delhi for having test series. Especially, I was very clear in my mind that if I clear third prelims, because in earlier two prelims, I could clear prelims in all the attempts, all the four attempts, including my current attempt. But I failed in mains twice. first and second mains with the margin of 19 and 15 marks respectively. So I was clear in my mind that in third attempt, if I get opportunity to write mains, in my third attempt, I will be definitely uh, going for a test series, physical test series. So I went for Forum IAS test series, and that too was in Delhi. So I prepared 2.5 months during prelims and mains in Delhi. I went there. I took test series. However, my optional test series, I continued that in online form from Unique Academy. That was my strategy during my third mains, and with God's grace and the efforts, I could clear my mains in my third attempt. It was my first mains clearance, and then subsequently I also cleared interview and got selected in Indian Railway Management Service last year. So this was my brief UPSC journey from 2016 to 2023. Yes. Then I would talk about the third part, that is prelims. As prelim is around the corner, there are 3 more months to go. Around roughly 85 to 90 days are there. So I will be sharing my prelim strategy, because prelims is the stage which is more critical to get into or to write mains. It is also unpredictable stage, and a lot of people and lot of anxiety remains in the mind of aspirants, so as to how to go after prelims and what all things one needs to do. So और मुझे ये थोड़ा सा एडवांटेज भी था, क्योंकि मैंने ऑल इन ऑल द 4 attempts I could clear prelims with a handsome amount of marks. So I will be sharing my strategy. First, for prelims. So in prelims there are two papers. First one is about general studies, paper one, and one is CSAT, Civil Services Aptitude test. So I will talk first about the general studies part. There are major 6 to 7 areas from where question come, including history, geography, polity, economy, science and tech, environment, and we will say miscellaneous. The seventh part is miscellaneous. So there are actually three pillars for GS preparation. First one is reading of the standard sources that are there in the market. We all know about the standard sources. For example, for polity, everyone reads Lakshmikant. For history, everyone reads Spectrum. Likewise, for every subject, there are some standard materials that we need to follow. And around 80 to 90 or 95% of aspirants follow the same standard books. Uh, and apart from the standard books, there is some advanced books material to complement the standard books for this subject is there. For example, what I did in my third, fourth, and second attempt, what I did is I went through Magna Carta series of Atish Mathur sir. That was to get conceptual clarity about the polity sections, especially for prelims. Then there is also I for science and technology, apart from PT 365 of Vision IS, I also referred PT Compass of Rouse IS. So there were some advanced or the secondary or the supplementary material also for environment part, apart from the PMF IS notes for environment. Earlier that they were not there, so I used Shankar IS, but now PMF IS notes are available in market, so I am reading that, and also some of the lectures from by the Santosh Kumar sir of Level IS. They also helped me during my prelims preparation. Uh, so these were some of the standards and advanced resources that I used during prelims. So this is the first pillar of prelims preparation, that is usage of some of the standard and advanced materials that are there in the market. Second pillar, I would say, is about the practicing the test. I generally saw many aspirants do not solve adequate amount of uh, yes, I will be going through all the comments and doubts that are there in the comments box. uh, Before that, I will be completing whatever strategy I want to share with you, and then I will go in the comment section. So I was talking about the second pillar of the prelim strategy, and that is about the practice test. Practice tests are of two types, and one needs to understand what is the significance of these practice tests of various classes, coaching materials. So first type of practice test is sectional test, and its objective is different from the full length test. So we need to follow practice test and that sectional practice test in order to bridge the knowledge gap. First thing. Second thing is to understand the active recalling concept. What we do while reading standard books, we go in passive mode of reading, and we tend to forget some of the crucial facts. But when we go for the half length test or the sectional test, we understand that this part I was missing when I was reading, or I was not giving proper attention to that. So, a half length test or the sectional test, they give us first is knowledge gap bridging, and then second, it also gives active recalling for us. And third thing, we also come to understand this particular area is our strength. For example, polity and economy is my strength, and let's say ancient history and medieval history is not my strength. So these you come to understand while solving the half length or the sectional test. Second aspect or second type of test is full length test, and it is most crucial after solving sufficient amount of sectional test. So what can be a sufficient amount of sectional test? I would say around 40 tests, 30 to 40 tests would be adequate number of sectional tests. You can take sectional test from two coaching classes and then solve accordingly. Then about full length test, what one can do and what is the objective of full length test is first thing, you get to go under a simulation of actual UPSC type paper, though the quality of the questions, I would say it is not up to the mark, but definitely one can, for the practice sake of practice, he or she can definitely go through the full length test. First thing, to go through the UPSC like simulation. Second thing is to practice some of the arsenals that we will be having in actual exam, that is two iterations or the iteration solving technique. That is in first iteration we go for the exact and the accurate 90 to 95% accuracy वाले क्वेश्चन जो हमें आते ही रहते हैं, जो ऐसे 25 to 30 और मैक्सिमम 35 क्वेश्चंस रहते हैं जो हम पहले इटरेशन में करते हैं। सेकंड इटरेशन में हम 50-50 वाले क्वेश्चंस करते हैं, या फिर 33% चांसेस वाले क्वेश्चंस करते हैं, और लास्ट इटरेशन में हम इंटेलेक्चुअल गेस या फिर सम इन व्हाट वी से कि हमें कुछ उसमें से याद आता है, या फिर ऐसा लगता है कि वो हमें मालूम है, तो ऐसे क्वेश्चन हम थर्ड इटरेशन में करते हैं। तो ये जो टेक्निक्स रहती है ये हमें ड्यूरिंग दी फुल लेंथ टेस्ट अप्लाई करनी होती है, so that we can apply in actual UPSC prelims as well. So this is the second pillar, to practice uh, full length test and sectional test, practice test. The next part is, and the third part is about the importance and the having look at the previous year questions of UPSC starting from 2011 till 2023. One shall be aware, and I would say he shall have tip of the tongue prelims questions, that which question and which area was asked by UPSC, how frequently it was asked. For example, Buddhism or Jainism, it is asked frequently by UPSC. So such areas one should be always aware, and one shall have understanding of it. So this is about PYQs, and one shall regularly have solving and going through the PYQs. Uh, I will I will suggest one book for previous year questions for prelims that was written by Saurabh Kumar sir, unique academic publication, and its name is UPSC Prelims Simplified. It is one of the good book that I came across for the prelims preparation for PYQ purpose. So aspirants can take note of it and also can refer to it. uh, this is the third pillar, and the last but not the least is about the revision. So revision, active revision through practice test and revision, multiple revision of the standard materials as well as advanced materials. One shall have a revision loop in last 3 to 4 months, and especially last 15 months, when one shall focus only on previous year questions and revision of its his notes, few of the notes and the standard materials for prelims. So that this is all I do in order to prepare for prelims. Then we will go to the next part of our session, that is mains preparation. We all know that UPSC is unpredictable and an uncertain exam. However, one of the uh, one of the stage of UPSC, that is mains examination, it is comparatively less certain, I would say, because there are certain segments and certain chapters from where UPSC asks questions frequently, and we need to identify these areas. For example, from internal security, UPSC asks questions alternatively from nationalism and terrorism or cross-border insurgency. So these are the areas, I would say, the low-hanging fruits. Or another example, agriculture. So UPSC has given a syllabus in GS3 agriculture, and UPSC asks certain questions based on the syllabus points every year. If this year he asks for MSP, then next year it will be PDS, then for next year it will be forward and upward linkages, supply chain management, and so on. So there are certain areas in GS papers for which we can prepare quality content, and quality uh, answer writing also can be done. Then there are areas, for example, in governance, there is area of SHG syllabus point. Then there is area of NGOs. Then there is charitable organizations. So on this area, UPSC frequently asks questions every alternate year. So you need to find out trends from the previous year questions. So how to prepare exactly for the mains? It is very crucial. I will go GS wise strategy, what books I used, and then how to analyze previous year questions, how to go after syllabus. See, syllabus and previous year questions are two of the important aspects for preparing mains as well as prelims. For prelims, there is very brief syllabus, but for mains, there is very elaborative syllabus, and one shall have his notes ready for every aspects and every pointer from the syllabus. GS 1, 2, 3, 4, and as well as optional. I will talk about optional later, but first we'll try to cover GS syllabus wise. So first in GS there is ancient and medieval history, uh, which is also known as art and culture aspect. So what I did for art and culture is I went through Nitin Singhania's art and culture, few of the previous year themes I was aware about, for example, temple architecture, some of the literature, some of the art forms. So I went through it, I collected some of the data, and I prepared my some 40-50 pages notes. Secondly, there is another aspect of, also I wrote few of the previous year questions and updated that within my notes. For modern history, I read Spectrum, and just short notes for some of the pointers, some of the facts from Spectrum I did for main aspects. Then there is another area of society. As sociology was my optional, I did little for society as a separate subject in GS1. However, I would say that society is also one of the interesting and one of the crucial component to get good marks in GS1. One can go through previous year questions, one can mug up the syllabus of GS1, and then with some data, some case studies, some facts, one can go through the notes, some of the toppers notes, as well as some of the very good notes from some of the classes, and prepare society. uh, for geography, what I did is I referred to previous year questions, and I also referred to syllabus points, and I made notes. So for geography, I would say for industry and the agriculture crop section, one can go for content development program notes of Forum IAS, and also some of the notes of PMFIAS, and also NCERTs, 11th NCERTs are also good. One needs to understand what is the current trend of questions asked from geography. There are one two questions every year from geography which are upsetting the trend. For example, last year 2023 means there was question from George and its serenity and what are its picturesque view it was about. And earlier also there was one mental plume question was there. So these questions one need to have some understanding about it. Not necessarily a two-page note shall be there for such pointers. However, the questions or the topics which are frequently asked in geography, in society, in modern history, and all other sections of GS1, and for that matter for GS2, GS3, GS4, one needs to have a good amount of notes and a good amount of revision for the same. So this was about GS1. Then I will be talking about GS2. So GS2 for GS2 for polity section, Lakshmikant, to certain extent it is good to cover some of the constitutional bodies, to for preamble part, to add value to your answers through fundamental rights, articles of fundamental rights, DPSP, fundamental duties, and some of the articles of various constitutional bodies. So, Lakshmikant, to certain extent, it is useful but for the mains perspective and the syllabus points that are mentioned in mains syllabus. So one need to have. What I did, I went through Atish Mathur sir's notes, Magna Carta for mains purpose. He has written some beautiful notes and some of the videos that are also available on his YouTube channel. I went through it. I made my own notes. The one constant thing that is there is I made my own notes for each and every syllabus pointer, as well as for few of the previous year question themes that are there. Uh, for governance part also, I went through some of the notes of all inclusive IS. They were very crisp notes, and on his website they are available for free, GS2 and GS3 purpose. And for international relations, I went through videos of Devraj Verma sir on Unacademy for to have a basic conceptual understanding. And then with the help of Mains 365 and current affairs newspaper, I was well versed with what is happening in international relations. Newspaper, I will talk about it later, how it shall be used and to what extent it shall be used. But for this purpose, for international relation, I used it to understand what expected topics can be there from current affairs, as well as to gain a certain content from it. Then talking about GS3, GS3 has, though there is a trend, there is a lump in the marks that are awarded in GS3, but one shall well versed with the topics of GS3 because there are very predictable questions, as I said earlier, for example, in agriculture and in uh, internal security. Similarly, goes with science and technology. There are 8 to 9 topics. For example, nanotechnology is there, biotechnology is there, space technology is there. You can prepare a good notes. You can go through toppers notes. You can go through various Telegram channels. You can go through newspapers and prepare good amount of notes for the same. Environment, go through Mains 365 of the latest year, and also prepare for the some of the topics from there. It is very useful. For economy purpose, I referred Vivek Singh's books for mains. For prelims, I referred Mrunal sir's notes. uh, Apart from that, for prelims, I also used Vivek Singh sir 450 MCQ PDF. That time it was 500 or 550 MCQs. So I went through some of the MCQs and read the solutions and prepared some of the notes from it. Yes, that was all for GS3. For GS4, GS4, though it is a GS or general studies paper, it requires good understanding of every word that is mentioned in ethics syllabus, and also good amount of examples, some of the examples from bureaucrats, some of the examples from leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, Subhash Chandra Bose, Pandit Nehru, Dr. Ambedkar. Or from the international point of view, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, uh, some of the Nobel laureates for peace. Then you also need to go and have some of the shlokas at your disposal, because in Bhagavad Gita or some or other forms of epics, there are some good examples. For example, in Ramayana, the story of Jatayu, or in Mahabharata, story of Karna. So these are some of the value addition materials that one needs to have disposal in order to make answers of GS4 more interactive and more lively. You cannot write GS4 or ethics ethics answers with the same approach of GS1 to 3, but because it is somewhat different, in my opinion. Then also, you for ethics, one needs to have good definition, good content on each and every syllabus point. Also, for case studies, one shall have ample amount of practice on different type of case studies, especially on previous year questions, because many times some of the themes of previous year case studies repeats, and if you are in condition to deal with these case studies, definitely it will be of a great help while going in actual exam hall, and and solving these case studies based on the previous year patterns. One needs to also have good amount of ethics keywords. For example, Gandhiji's talisman, then seven sins that are proposed by Gandhiji. Politics without principle is there. Then knowledge without integrity or without character. There are some seven sins given by Gandhiji. Then Gandhiji's idea of Ram Rajya, Gandhiji's idea of Swaraj or Suraj, Antyodaya, Sarvodaya, or there are other ideas of other thinkers. So one needs to well verse with these keywords of ethics to give a value addition for the answer. So this is about all the GS. I will briefly talk about my optional, that is sociology. What I did for sociology is I went through some of the basic material and some of the standard notes of some of the classes that are there in market. I prepared my own notes on each and every topic, and also practice all the PYQs from 2013 till date, except 2023 mains papers. Apart from that, for every year's PYQs, I read it, I solved it, and I googled it, some of the keywords or the key ideas of the thinkers. So likewise, I did it. I went through notes of Vikas Ranjan sir. I went through notes of sleepy classes that are available, videos of sleepy classes, videos of Vikas Ranjan sir, and my mentor from Unique Academy, Mr. Shivaji Kade sir. I also got the mentorship from him in order to tackle the questions and have some of the good content, value addition material on sociology for both paper 1 and paper 2. These were some of the pointers from my side for the mains preparation. The remaining paper is of essay, and I would say essay is one of the paper apart from optional and GS4, and nowadays GS1 and GS2 is also giving good amount of marks. One can cross 120 marks in GS1 and GS2 and GS4. Same with optional. So essay, what I did for essay was I went through some of the toppers copies for essay. I read some of the essays. I scribbled down what ideas I that came to my mind while reading the essay and reading the topic of the essay. I prepared some of the value addition content. For example, I prepared more than 100 quotes on various aspects, for example, on truth, on education, on health, and likewise. Then I also prepared some of the anecdotes. How will I introduce my essay to the examiner? Then what areas I will be pondering upon in my main body of essay. For example, I used to bring I aspect, that is my or the internal. Uh, mm, for example, if I am writing anything about the uh, uh, let's say last year there was essay on not all who wander are lost. So wandering can be outside, wandering can be inside. So I expect when I say that, so what for what I was wondering, and no, not need to wander outside only, one can wander inside to get understanding or the true meaning of life, the calling of yourself, for what purpose you are here. So these nuances you need to include in your essay, the I aspects. Then, uh, then in essay, uh, also what we need to do is go through some of the good essays. It can be toppers essays, it can be essays on YouTube explained by some of the coaching classes. So that's all for the essay part. Uh, yes. Then aspirants generally get some trouble while having answer writing. I will share my experience as well, because I was also getting issue, or I was also struggling with my answer writing in first of the two attempts when I could not clear mains. The major reason was lack of answer writing practice. I was not very keen to write answers. On the other hand, I thought that if I if I revise my notes and prepare better notes, I will sail through mains. But that was not the case. I realized it when I failed in my second mains and second attempt, and then I realized that answer writing shall be my one of the main and crucial component if I want to clear mains. And in my third attempt, that is last year's attempt, I extensively wrote answers for mains, wrote around 35 to 40 test series, test for essay, GS, and uh, optional combinedly, including previous year questions or previous year question papers. And the impact was that I could clear mains. That was the only difference and the significant difference that I did. I wrote extensively. There are two problems of aspirants faced while writing answer. First, lack of content, lack of confidence, and lack of structure for the answer writing purpose. And second problem is what happens is speed. So one is not able to complete all the 20 questions within the 3 years time. So these are the two major problems that aspirants face while writing answer. I will address both of the parts separately. First part, that is lack of content, lack of structure, and lack of value addition. For that purpose, you need to revise very thoroughly the whatever your notes are there. You need to have notes ready before writing your mains answer writing. At least whatever topics you are writing on, you need to have your notes, 1 or 2 page notes ready, so that you can revise it and you can write the answers. You can start with previous year questions, two questions each day if you are beginner, and if you are seasoned player, then you can go for half length test or full length test of previous year questions, or the coaching classes test series. Not necessarily a paid test series, you can get very easily test papers of the coaching classes in the market. So that is there. So this is the first problem that aspirants face regarding content structuring. For structure, you need to think on the intro, main body, and yes, I will be showing some light on how to increase writing speed. But before that, let me complete the first part. So, to in order to have multiple dimensions, think from the point of view the GS, whatever the GS points are there. For example, think from the history perspective. If question relates some of the historical facts, bring that. Some of the geographical facts, bring that. Some of the society, from society also you can mention about the woman, then you can mention about elderly, you can mention about PWD. So there are a lot of stakeholders from which point of view you can answer the question. Then you can then go to GS2 parts, some of the polity aspects, some of the Supreme Court guidelines, some of the constitutional articles, then governance aspect, then international relation point of view. So what I'm trying to say, to in order to bring more content, you need to be more multidimensional in your answer, and for that purpose, what you need to do, you need to go GS wise. You can think, or when you are thinking, when you are brainstorming, you can brainstorm from that perspective. Then the second part is about how to increase speed. So if increasing speed will come with two, basically, from 2 points. First point is you need to have uh, you need to have lot of practice of answer writing. Initially it will be that you are able to complete 12 questions or 15 questions within 3 hours, but with the practice you will definitely cover all the 20 questions within 3 hours, as was the case with myself as well, because earlier I could not clear it. I used to cover 18 or 19 questions, but uh, in actual exam I could write all the 20 questions, and in some of the GS I could write it within with 2 or 3 or 5 minutes spare. So with practice it is definitely possible. And second thing, there shall be minimum gap between recalling of the content and the writing of your answer. And in order to minimize that gap between recalling of content and writing answer, you need to have uh, facts and the content tip of your tongue. For that purpose, revision is a key. Your crisp notes and multiple revision of those crisp notes is crucial in order to complete all the 20 questions. There is no time to think and write. You need to think within 20-30 seconds and write, and while writing you need to think on various aspects, and for that purpose practice and maximum revision and active recalling of all the content that you have at your disposal is necessary. So these are the solutions for the problems on how to increase or how to maintain answer writing speed. uh, I also talked about how to bring multidimensional answers. You can think about stakeholders. You can think about a GS-wise approach. You can think about some of the mnemonics that can be there. How to bring that. You need to practice for that. Okay. I will also spread some light on the importance of PYQs. PYQ, my dear fellow aspirants, is very crucial, because in prelims as well and in mains as well, PYQs are the guiding lights for you in order to get what UPSC is asking and why it is asking. PYQs, the questions in previous year questions, can be from or its origin can be from two. First, it can be a theme from syllabus, for example, terrorism or Naxalism or PDS or MSP or SHG. Likewise, it can be a frequently asked thing, or secondly, it can be from current affairs. There shall be some of the incidences in current. For example, in 2021, they asked a question on green initiative, and question on COP26, and that was very much in news. So such questions are asked from current affairs or contemporary affairs, uh, and from the frequently asked questions by UPSC in the previous year questions. So previous year questions are very much important in order to prepare in targeted preparation of UPSC. Uh, then you need to identify such most expected questions from the previous year questions and from the syllabus and from the current affairs. This will be my suggestions for you. Then I will be coming on the interview, the personality test aspects of the UPSC preparation, which is the third. It is one of the interesting, I would say. You get to interact with many officers, senior officers, as well as many people which are ready to help you for your preparation. The amount of understanding and depth of the issue to understand issue also increases with the help of interview preparation, because you need to ready for the second and third counter question for the questions or the topic that you will be asked. So last year my interview score was 175 out of 275, which is considered fairly decent. It is above average score. My last year's interview experience was I had Smita Nagaraj ma'am's board. The interview started from the my district hometown, Sindhudurga, and she asked me about tell me history of Sindhudurga, how it is related to current contemporary times. I was answering, I answered. I mentioned Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj's name. So she asked me about why there is growing intolerance in our society. I answered that. She asked me one interesting question, that do you think law favor powerful? And I politely said that no, ma'am, law do not favor powerful. It is those who implement the law. Sometimes they favor powerful. That's why it seems that law favor powerful, but law is neutral. Then she asked a few more questions, and she handed over to the fellow panel members. And mostly last year, my interview was on expected lines. It was on current affairs, and mostly on the DAP section from my college, Ferguson College, who is founder of Ferguson College, who was James Ferguson. Then I got Inspire Scholarship. One of the member asked me about that. Then also they asked me about history of Marathas, Battle of Panipat, then corruption issue in Maharashtra, then problem of untouchability compared to independence and current era. Then watching cricket is one of my hobby. They asked me about it, why we are losing Test series in South Africa. Then the question was on semi-final loss of Women T20 World Cup. That was on the 22nd February 2023. 23rd February 2023. My interview was on 24th February 2023. So they asked me the turning point of the previous yesterday's match, and I was prepared for that, and so I answered most of the questions. It was a very nice concert. I had two of the members a little bit grilled also on particular topic related to social issues and agriculture related part, but I took a firm stand on whatever I my stand was, and then interview was around for 30 minutes, and uh, it was a very good experience for UPSC aspirants to go through and to interact with the such a senior members of UPSC and the other members. So this was all about my interview. Many aspirants have doubt or the how to fill DAF, what aspects one needs to fill in. So DAF or the detailed application form 2, it is more of a your personality, what things you like, what hobbies you have, what interest areas you have, whatever your achievements will be there. Have you participated in NCC or NSS or likewise activity? What you learn from it? When they ask for hobbies, we need to understand that why they are asking. During UPSC preparation or in general in our life, there shall be something for which we are very enthusiastic, and we shall take some interest in that activity. For example, watching cricket and playing tabla were my hobbies. So I take very interest in these activities. It gives me relaxing or the relaxation. So uh, we need to understand why such questions or the why such pointers are there in UPSC DAF, and accordingly we need to fill in. If anyone has not some hobby or interest, then one can develop within the 1 hour, 1 year period. It is very much likely. Uh, then the service, the service. Yes, am I audible now? Okay. So, so I'm in Indian Railway Management Service. Earlier, there were different services. Indian Railway Traffic Service was there. Indian Railway Account Service was there. Indian Railway Personal Service were there, and 4 to 5 services of Indian Engineering Services, Technical Services. Last year, they were merged, and the single post, that is Indian Railway Management Service, which is encompassing of 8 different departments. They are there, and uh, there is single service of Indian Railway Management Service, Indian Railway Management Service, and the training heads at Lucknow. Initial training is at Lucknow Indian Railway Transport Institute and Management, IRITM Institute. So it is a good step, I would say, to have a collaboration of all the 8 services, and it also has a good service or the career prospects in Indian Railway Management Service. It is conducted through civil services, UPSC civil services only. Then next, I will be talking about the mistakes that I done during my preparation and what all mistakes one need to avoid. First thing, keep one or maximum two sources for single syllabus point or single subject, so that there is less possibility of you getting lost in the vast sea of resources and various coaching notes, etc. So keep minimum basic resources minimum. You can go through other resources and just go through index, and whatever points you are missing, you can add that, but it is in the latter part of your preparation. Initially you need to stick to one or two resources, basic or standard resources that are there for UPSC. Second mistake, I would say that aspirants do not give uh, enough importance to previous year questions, both for prelims as well as mains. I would again re-emphasize on this aspect that please go through previous year questions, understand why these questions are asked, and uh, try to solve these questions few points, go through some of the answers of the previous year questions, and understand how to answer these questions. You can also go through toppers copies, answer copies, and learn how to answer the previous year questions. And third thing is that write answers, do not procrastinate for answer writing. It is very crucial. The first 2 attempts why I failed in mains was major reason was I did not do answer writing. In third attempt I did answer writing. In fourth attempt I did answer writing, and I cleared mains. So I will say focus on previous year questions, focus on answer writing, keep single or the maximum two resources for one subject for one syllabus point. Go through toppers copies, go through various toppers channels, Telegram channels. There are various and very beautiful, various very content rich toppers channels are there. So please go through it. Okay. There are few useful websites for the UPSC preparation. There are definitely Better India is one of the websites from where you can get examples for the ethics and essay, examples from the life of various civil servants, bureaucrats. Then there are also channels of channels of Live Mint, Indian Express, The Hindu. You can go through it. I would merge here one of the frequently asked question, that is how to use social media for UPSC preparation. I would say that till I cleared my mains in 2022, I was away from this all social media platforms, including WhatsApp, WhatsApp, Instagram, and Twitter, Facebook. But for interview preparation, I started WhatsApp. I was on Telegram throughout my preparation, because on Telegram there are various good channels, Telegram channels. One can definitely go through it and get relevant content for his preparation. Uh, in for interview purpose, I went to Instagram, some of the Instagram pages of Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, various government ministries, Home Ministry, Rail Ministry, then other important ministries. PIB is another website as well as Instagram handle one can go through. Live Mint, Indian Express, these are, and other other. Yes, I will be coming to timetable कैसे बनाया. I will be sharing that as well in miscellaneous questions that are there. Okay, so these are some of the useful websites. How to analyze syllabus. This is I talked about it. You can correlate syllabus points with previous year questions. For previous year question, there is Vishal Publications book which I referred, and I thought it was useful for me for early preparation stage, where I was not very sure that this question relates to which syllabus point. So it was very important for that purpose. Then, there is another question that shall we make self notes, or shall we go through the ready-made notes? I preferred in my preparation self notes. I went through various ready-made notes, but ultimately I prepared my own notes. I will tell you the reason. Ultimately, before whatever you have to read or revise, you have to revise before your GS1, GS2. There is very less time, and for that purpose, one single point notes one needs to have, and for that purpose, you need to have a single source from where you will be revising within 2 hours, within 1 hour. And if you have your own notes, you do not need to go from the 3 4 sources at the time of when you have actual mains or actual prelims. So I prefer my self notes. I have derived it from various sources, from various coaching class notes or standard notes that are there in market. Okay. Also, there is third component in notes, that is the value addition notes. I have value addition notes digitally made. You can make it digitally or make physically on pen and paper, with the help of pen and paper. Uh, and you can uh, value addition notes. You will value addition कहाँ से करना चाहिए? There are multiple sources. First source is through newspaper. Second source is through toppers value addition notes. Third source is through various short notes of committee recommendations, Supreme Court judgments. There are various committees. For example, Ashok Dalwai committee is there for agriculture. Then MS Swaminathan commission is there. Then for internal security, there is commission. Shekatkar committee is there. Then Madhukar Gupta committee is there. So over the period of time, this will not be getting at single point. You need to keep updating your value addition content as and when you come across this value addition content. So through toppers copy, one point you can get from toppers copy, another point you can get from the value addition notes of some classes. Then third point you will get from toppers answer, toppers notes. So this is value addition content. I would say it is discrete in nature. You need to bring it at a one point under the heading of syllabus point. For example, for SHG, what is the data related to SHG? How many SHG are there? which are the role model SHGs for example, Kudumbashri model of Kerala. It is famous. Lijjat Papad model is famous. So you need to have some case studies. You need to have some schemes related to SHG, some state government related schemes, some central government related scheme. Are there any constitutional articles related to this? Then are there any sustainable goals related to this? Some Gandhiji's principles can correlated with this. So, or DPSP, are there any DPSP I can correlate to this particular topic for for example, NGO, for governance purpose, for internal security, for international relation purpose. For example, Article 51, it is to bring peace in at international level. We can definitely it can be brought in international relation questions. So multilateralism is there and so on. So one need to be in continuous search of how can I correlate these topics with or these pointers from newspaper, from any value addition point you get, and how can I correlate with my syllabus, with my UPSC previous year questions and my notes. So you need to have in continuous search and continuous pursuit of that value addition purpose. Okay. How to make notes? I have already told you about that. uh, uh, Role of NCRT, I will be sharing some light on that. So NCRT, there for beginners it will be a different, and for veterans who have given 2 or 3 attempts, NCRT's role will be different. For beginners, I would say NCRT, just go through NCRTs in order to understand the subject, in get connected with this subject. And there are many from technical background which are uh, there is a gap from a 10th standard till graduation. So in order to bridge that gap, read NCRTs, but one shall not give 6 months or likewise time for the NCRTs alone. You can complete it in 1 month, 1.5 month. Keep it brief. Uh, uh, if you uh, uh, if you understand some of the points, well and good. If you have some problem, ask your fellow aspirants or the fellow mentors from NCRT. For veterans, they, if you think particular area or the particular book is important, for example, Constitution at Work, 11th standard NCRT for Polity, it is much of relevance. Some of the definitions or the other part, political theory, definition for equality, liberty, justice can be taken from there. So veterans can decide accordingly what areas I need to read again. For example, 11th NCRT, it is good for geography, part 1, part 2. We read it time and again. But there are NCRTs from 6 to 10 standard, no need to go again and again. Just uh, just condense it to a crisp manner, in crisp manner. That is all about NCRTs. Then I would suggest that for ancient and medieval history, aspirant can go through old NCRT, and for other NCRTs, aspirant can go for new NCRTs. Okay, that is there. Yes. Now I will be discussing on how to go after newspaper and current affair magazines. For newspaper, one must learn or understand why we need to read newspaper from prelims point of view, from mains point of view, and from interview, from personality test point of view. And for each stage, role of newspaper is different. For example, for prelims, role of newspaper is to identify what all is going on and what areas UPSC can ask questions from. For example, if any constitutional body is in news, we need to go through Lakshmikant and read about that constitutional body. What are the constitutional article about it? Then, what are the roles, responsibility? How that chairperson of that constitutional body is elected? What is the structure of the committee which elects the for example, CAG or UPSC member or UPSC chairman, what is the age limit? Likewise, we need to go in details about this. that are there. Or for example, any species is in news, for example any butterfly species, UPSC has habit to ask such species its IUCN status, the endemicity, where the species is found out, then any peculiar aspect about that particular species. So you, what you need to do is you have to Google it, and through Wikipedia page you can go, or IUCN page you can go, or worldwide fund you can go through it, and forum you can go through it. You can also Google it with the help of, for example, red throated bird, and with you need to add suffix UPSC, so you will get good understanding of it. Then for mains purpose, how to read newspaper. So for mains purpose, why we need to read newspaper, objective is shall be very clear. Whatever you will be reading and taking notes from newspaper, ultimately it cannot be more than 150 or 200 words, because you need to write answer for that particular word limit only. So while taking notes from UPS from newspaper, you shall always remember that for which part of my answer this content or this note I will be using. For example, for introduction part, for main body argument, or for conclusion. For what purpose this note I will be using, or this particular point from newspaper I will be reading. If you think from this perspective, newspaper reading would be very easy. The second aspect, which we need to read. For that purpose, you need to be thorough with your syllabus, with your prelims previous year questions, and with mains previous year questions. If you have the syllabus, you will be very well versed with what all news you need to read. Then let us take example of election commission. There were some articles from election from for the appointment of election commission in few of the days, a few past days. So what UPSC can ask, it can ask about independence of election commission, it can ask about whatever the previous year questions that are there. On that lines UPSC can ask about it. So with the help of previous year questions for both prelims and mains, and with syllabus pointers in mind, one needs to read newspaper. Initially you can take syllabus copy with you and read newspaper, and check whether this particular newspaper article is related to my syllabus of mains or of prelims. That is there. I will now talk about the role of coaching. So, is it necessary? Is it compulsory to go for coaching? I would say no, not necessary, not compulsory. Then why I did coaching? So initially, in order to get to know about what the nature of UPSC, in the year 2016, the democratization of technology, social media platforms was not that to that extent. But I would say currently it is not compulsory to go for UPSC, and that for uh, coaching, and for that matter, it is not compulsory to go to Delhi. Many aspirants ask a question that is it necessary to go Delhi? One, with the help of the technology and various uh, social media platforms, including Telegram, YouTube, and some of the other platforms, one can get good amount of content as well as mentorship from the online platforms. Yes, definitely coaching help you to get into targeted. It reduces your efforts so as to how what you need to read. It gives you some good notes. Then it also gives you mentorship in initial days of your preparation. So there are some positives, some negatives of it. One need to go after it on case-to-case basis. So that will be my suggestion. In during COVID, I was not in any coaching. When gave my first, second, third, fourth attempt, though I was writing test with my from Unique Academy from for optional paper, and for GS paper I was writing test from Forum IS. For that purpose, I joined a test series, paid test series. But and my mentors were there. Shivaji Kale and Praveen Chavan sir was there to help me. So you can have, if you have access to your senior aspirants and or the mentors. So definitely it will be very of a great help. Then I will be some of the trivial questions that often asked about how much hours for how much hours I studied or how much hour aspirant shall study. So it depends on the individual if he is able to grasp the issue within 6 hours, within 8 hours. There is no need to go for 12 hours study because you need to understand your biology, your mental capabilities, your intellect, and your hours of study you can sit for daily, and accordingly you can devise your own. But I would say that during prelims to mains, that 3.5 months, one shall go for 10-12 hours of study. Before prelims, 3 4 months, one shall go for 10-12 hours study. During interview preparation, yes. So it depends on individual, it depends on the cycle of UPSC in which you are. Study hours differ likewise. Then there is frequently asked question that how to maintain motivation, how to gain momentum. So see, UPSC is a tiring journey. Every stage of UPSC, uh, many think of that in first attempt I will crack. Yes, there are many aspirants, many officers you have cracked in first attempt, but statistically speaking, 80 to 90% of aspirants, those who crack, majority are there, they are in third, fourth, fifth attempt. So to continue motivation for that phase or for that years, one need to have, one need not to seek motivation from externally but internally. It will come from internally. It will, you, after certain point, you will get motivation from the exam or the stage of exam you will be cracking. For example, if you are continuously failing in prelims, 1 year you will be clearing mains, and this clearing of prelims, it will be a kind of motivation to for you for next 1 year. If you are struggling at mains level, clearing mains will be a motivation after certain point of time. But I will say this motivation will come from inside. However, I will also suggest that don't uh, don't go continuously for 4 years, 5 years if you are stuck at same level or same stage of UPSC. For example, if you are stuck at fifth year, please make some plan B, give some time to your plan B, because ultimately UPSC is an uncertain exam. We never know. There are examples when in sixth attempt, with failing 5 times, many officers have cleared in sixth attempt. But we need to take all the possibilities in mind, and then accordingly we need to go. So importance of plan B is there. You need to have a good plan B so that you can rely upon it. For myself, that was some other central services examination, group A services, group B services, and state BCS was my plan B. If I could not cleared in third attempt, then I was thinking of that to give seriously. uh, that was my perspective. Then which medium UPSC aspirant shall choose? I would prefer, if you are good enough in English and there is no large difficulty in understanding and having notes in English, one shall definitely go for English medium. Why? The reason is that much of the quality content is available in English. Even though if you are going to prepare for Marathi or the regional language of your state, you have to read majority of chunk of your notes from English, and then you have to translate. You have to translate on your own. For Hindi, I'm not very sure, but there are some classes that, or some class materials is there in market that many aspirants follow in Hindi. Um, Use of social media, I have already talked about it. I For interview purpose, I used some of the Instagram handles of ministries, some of the websites like PIB, and some of the government ministry websites for the interview preparation. uh, yes. uh, uh, Online preparation, offline preparation, I think with the democratization of technology, this has much significance that how to prepare offline or online. I think many officers have cleared uh, all three stages of preparation from their hometown with the help of online material, online resources. So it is up to you. It is a personal call, I would say, uh, how you have to go. During COVID, I was 1.5 year. I was staying at my home. I was using all the online content that was there, publicly available. So I don't think that offline is the only panacea. However, online can be. Uh, this was all from my side for the community. I would thank UPSC Time India to give opportunity to share my insights towards and show my gratitude towards the fellow aspirant community. I have helped. I was also helped with the other fellow UPSC toppers from their toppers talk. Yes. So I will be going through some of the messages that are there, and will try to solve some of the queries. टेस्ट सीरीज कब से ज्वाइन करनी चाहिए? Before joining test series, one can go and practice previous year questions, two previous year questions or five previous questions for 1 2 month. Then with the completion of syllabus notes, own notes, and with thorough reading, one can definitely go for answer writing and test series purpose. Okay. uh, yes. See, it is very normal that one will forget what he has read. So, in order to remember it, one needs to frequently revise all the points that are there, all the notes. So we need to bring whatever there is in revision loop. Whatever you are reading or whatever you are revising, you need to revise in a particular manner, that it shall be revised every week or every 15 days or every month, so that you will not forget. Yes, so motivation is one of the factor that during comparing with your fellow friends, fellow colleagues, definitely it will hurt. It hurts almost everyone. Very few people are there who do not compare and who do not feel dejected seeing to others. But that is there. So you need to understand that why you have started. What was the initial motivation behind the starting of preparation? And if you remind yourself continuously that whatever I am doing, it is for myself as well as for larger community, and that will motivate you. Your preparation, your exam, your understanding of exam will motivate you to work harder. So ultimately it's up to you why you started, why you want to join civil services. If it is a temporary motivation, it will wane away. But if it has certain substance, it has a larger goal, then definitely it will motivate you throughout your preparation. So that was my funda. uh, yes. Timetable, yes, timetable, the aspects I have, only aspect that has remained. So timetable, what I used to do, there are two types of timetable. One is doing single subject or single topic throughout the day, and there is another kind of, that is two three different subjects within a day. So I used to go with second type because I used to get bored with this single topic. or single subject in a day. So what I used to do, before lunch I used to devote a certain time, 3-4 hours for particular subject. Post lunch I used to give certain time for certain subject, and evening before dinner I used to give 2 hours for a certain subject, and post dinner I used to give certain hours for that subject. I will also emphasize here on importance of taking breaks within a break. So you cannot work like a machine continuously. Machine also requires maintenance. So similarly, if you are working hard, working uh, sincerely, then you also need to take rest. I used to take rest in after in Sunday evening, post lunch, for Sunday evening I used to watch some movies or watch some interesting things, like some comedy shows or likewise. So used so for the refreshment purpose, or I used to go outside. I used to go meet my friends. I used to call my friends. I did it in COVID time as well. I used to call my friends which are not in the UPSC fraternity. I used to talk with them. I used to try to talk with my family. So these were the some of the fundas that one needs to think. Refreshment is necessary in order to re-energize and work or the study for next week from Monday. So these all points from my sides. I hope this session will help you to get some insights on the UPSC preparation. Uh, Thank you. That is all from my side. All the best to all the aspirants who have joined and who will be joining. Thank you.